Hi everyone, I'm Shane Harris, bringing you a late night special of Shane Harris Tonight. Now, I knew last week's episode, which is the state of DNAs, was not gonna get enough ratings because, let's face it, no one's ever heard of DNAs. But the next cartoon I'm gonna talk to you about in the state of series that's going on here on Shane Harris Tonight is one that's more mainstream. One has a stronger bond with myself in how much I know and how much I enjoy. Does this shirt look familiar to you? If so, this is a shirt that I got on Redbubble a few years ago, featuring a typography version of the character that's in discussion, the character that I'm going to talk to you about in the series. Ladies and gentlemen, it is OKKO Let's Be Heroes, a 2017 gem from my high school life, and let's talk about it. For myself, it all began in 2017. I've heard I was a big Cartoon Network viewer at that time. So was my brother. And I heard about this series that's coming out, and I'm a guy who really loves the neo retro stuff. And it was starting to become even more popular. But then I really leaned into how the show came about. On Demand at the time featured the 2013 Lakewood Plaza Turbo pilot that had like Stephanie Naldoni of Dragon Ball and Mena Suvari from American Pie in there. It looked awful, but I loved how it was like coordinated. But then there was the Lakewood Plaza Turbo app game in 2015 that really took off. And then here we are, between 2016 and early 2017, they conceptualized the possible shorts that gave way to possible future designs, and they landed on a work designed by Digital Emation, who, funny enough, did Johnny Test during the Warner Brothers Season 1 days. And they also worked with Sumin, both of which are from South Korea. And on Tuesday, August the 1st, at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, following the Teen Titans Go Night Begins to Shine special, we were introduced to the series that would mark 25 years of the checkered colored brand. And that is OKKO, filled with everything you would ask for. A banging theme song performed by Matthew Twining from One Day as a Lion. Check. Its theme song is literally sort of disco influenced. Its characters, perfectly designed, and let alone slightly rough drawn when you watch the show. I wonder how similar is it to this? By the way, Wayside next Friday, and Johnny Test the following Friday after that, due to work obligations. And they did a bit of casting changes because Stephanie Naldoni only did like 2 or so episodes of the main series because she was committed to Dragon Ball. So heading from Dallas to Burbank was going to be a pain in the butt. And then Mena Suvari is busy with other stuff, so both of them got canned. In comes Courtney Taylor to do KO's voice. In came Ashley Birch to do Enid right there. And funny enough, Birch is still doing stuff currently with Disney with The Ghost of Molly McGee. As for Rad, he's voiced by the series creator Ian Jones Cordy. Easily one of the greatest men to be born in Maryland outside of L.A. Knight. Yeah. And we do have some Philadelphia TV representation because one of the Parks and Rec stars from that area, from our area, happens to be Carol, KO's mother. And the rest is very interesting history. And let's see, the rest of the series is alarmingly filled with references, great stories, characters that have so many different backgrounds and storylines. You'll just get soaked into so much lore. You have plenty of it is based on older cartoons, older Cartoon Network content, the 90s, the 80s, the Japanese influences, the video game influences, even a bit of the creator's life from back in the day is all referenced here. You have plenty of guest stars, ranging from LeVar Burton and David Coburn. By the way, LeVar Burton, as of tonight's recording, was on Trivial Pursuit. He's the host, and that's on the CW, 9 o'clock Thursday nights in the fall. And both of them were doing a role with Captain Planet and Kwame. Both of them did a crossover with KO. Roger Craig Smith, a longtime voice of Sonic for the past few years, he had a phenomenal crossover. Kurt Angle, WWE legend, and a native Pittsburgher. He's Chip Damage on the show. Like, it's stacked top to bottom with stars. And by the way, merch is aplenty, a lot of which were done by the fans, but there are some that are brought officially. Not just with the San Diego Comic-Con debut in 2017, but also when the series really progressed. As you see right here, you may be wondering, Shane Harris, what the frick are you doing with a DVD that's not American? Judging by the yellow PG label. Well, folks, this is an Australian DVD. And bizarrely, because this one is released by Madman, it is not a PAL spec DVD. And it works on our US spec NTSC Region 1 players. I'm not going to demonstrate it in lieu of copyright, possibly. And as you can see, the box art's pretty good, similar to the one used on the main series poster. There are 3 discs, and it's presented in Dolby Surround, but sadly, it's only in stereo with Dolby's license on it. And it's in 60:9 widescreen. The main menu, not really much. No bonus features. Sorry, folks. But down here is the other backup DVD, the one that we Americans got. From Warner Home Video, OKKO TKO. Same box art, but it's a white case, 1 DVD, and it's not every episode of Season 1, unfortunately, from the 2017-18 season. The main menu, not much either, except it does play the show's theme music. And the background for the back, same, except all the info is written on top, including episodes, compared to the Australian disc. And this one also has Dolby Surround, but it's unfortunately in stereo since it says English Dolby 2.0. And the box does say Warner Brothers Home Entertainment. But when you play the disc, it says Warner Home Video. It's got the older shield with the beautiful piano music that you may have seen once or twice on an old VHS tape, maybe. Funny enough, Twister, here in North America in 1996, was the first to use the logo. This DVD was the last. And now you may be wondering how to watch it in streaming form. Well, it was on Max, but then it got purged after the series ended. We had the Max purge, and then it was on Hulu for a few bits, doing reruns, but then just recently it got kicked off due to the license being expired. So, yeah, ABC and Warner telling y'all that they only care about The Bachelorette and nothing else. So much so for the partnership that they're best known for when it comes to like China Beach, Spencer for Hire, and Drew Carey. And by the way, maybe wondering how long this series ran. It ran from 2017 all the way up until my saddest day of my life that's pertaining to cartoons, and that is Friday, September the 9th, 2019. They aired the finale. And I was crying after the final end credits rolled. Crying into the first episode of King of the Hill that came after it on Adult Swim. That's how sad I was, because this was a show I got into big time in high school. One of my former classmates by the name of Araceliz Gonzalez Rivera was a big fan of that show as well, because of the anime references. I really love the show to death. I got like 2 other shirts from Redbubble based on the series. I've done several bits of fan art, which probably may have been corny as of right now, but I love watching the show. But to my father who is in heaven, I am sorry that I tortured you on Sundays watching season 3 of this show instead of watching NASCAR during the playoffs. Cartoon Network did the show dirty because 1, they started to not really promote the show after season 1, and 2, they put in terrible time slots, and 3, boardroom politics. Because Warner got held up in terms of mergers. They got held up by the government at the time, as the AT&T Warner deal was about to happen, but at that same time, Disney bought out 20th, and thus that separated 20th from the Fox Broadcasting Company. And the politics up there overshadowed it, and it's a hot mess. I recommend you watch Cartoon Crash Course with special guest Ian Jones-Cordy for more information and to hear it from the professionals who know the situation more than I do. And by the way, some of it is due to Washington politics at the time. So, yeah. But for me, this show lives forever in terms of the fans, the people who create the art, even some of the crew members who do art sometimes. They have an official Tumblr blog called the OKKO Crew. Crew spelled with a K, of course. And best yet, there is a full series available on DVD, but you're gonna have to buy it third hand from a local pirate, since the full series is only available through a pirated source. It's probably capped from Cartoon Network's original airings here in the United States. So that means Australian Season 1 and part of Season 1 America is only available on DVD. Season 2 and 3 are not available officially by Madman or Warner. Shame. And it's a shame that the series, the only way you can watch it digitally is through buying it on YouTube. I'm not spending money to watch a series when I already got Season 1 right here, and a backup Season 1 right here as well. By the way, I am Shane Harris. I will see you next Friday due to work obligations. And by the way, if you love Nelvana, if you love Michael Cera, and if you love wacky books, Wayside is the next show we're talking about. We'll see you this Friday, and yes, enough of the fun! Bye!